Hello and what's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about something very serious. Now, from what you heard, of course, mihoyo has taken down the global event and the thing that they worked really hard on and they promoted for such a long time and they were so excited about, it was taken down. Now, in one of my videos, I'll link it down below, I was reacting to the video, the bunny video when it came out, and I was super excited about it. However, apparently the Chinese server didn't like that a lot. Now, I am here, you've heard all of the shenanigans, you've heard about people being mad, you heard about people retaliating, people wanting to just go like fire with fire and stuff like that, but there's a lot of things that need to be highlighted and it needs to be explained before we continue with the shenanigans, because there's more than one thing happening and it's way deeper, it's layers deeper than being just, oh, the Chinese player, we're just jealous, oh, they are like the older brother who's like, it's either me or nobody gets it, either I'm in it or nobody's allowed to have it. So just a small recap. Let's start with this. mihoyo on April 22nd, it issued an official statement saying, "Dear captains, we recently reviewed feedback on global 3rd anniversary story event and promotional videos featuring bunny girl designs and dance moves that were out of character and inappropriate." That being said, we all know mihoyo. I mean, I'm not gonna post a picture of it, but just go to your account, just go there and look up for Hannah B, the bottom stigma for Hannah. You'll know exactly what I mean. Back to it. We sincerely apologize for these issues. We will remove any content related to the 3rd anniversary bunny girls and cancel the view count event. The art of in-game stigma, Yay Sakura Peach's bottom, will also be adjusted accordingly afterwards. We are deeply sorry for the negative experience and we will compensate. Now, here's the thing. We will compensate every captain level 9 or higher on global server with 500 crystals. The crystals will be handed out at 12 o'clock April 23rd via in-game mail and will expire on 12th of May 7th. This is a very important part. They didn't talk about the other servers now, did they? And by other servers, I don't even mean the SEA server. There was another server that apparently they cared about more than anything else, which was the Chinese server. And apparently the Chinese server got 10 supply cards. How do I know? Because I opened a Chinese server, I opened an account on the Chinese server, and I woke up this morning and look what I got. I got 10 pulls and out of nowhere. Just that. And that was interesting. I didn't know why at first, but then this happened and I was like, well, it's a global event. Why would the Chinese server have any? That's a first. Second of all, then I thought, I was like, Honkai Impact, it's a full game, it's for everybody, it has different servers. I mean, the server thing is just to begin with, just something to make it easier for the game to run and stuff, and not have a lot of clashes. That's what I was thinking, and I was thinking, yeah, everybody deserves to get the same amount. How about that? But apparently not. So, as we reflect on our decisions, we promise to safeguard the quality of our content with higher standards to ensure this kind of issue never occurs again. In the future, we will dedicate more effort to improving our gaming experience with more exciting and diverse content, and creating a healthy environment where everyone can have fun. Everyone. Okay, we hope captains will continue to support Honkai Impact 3rd. So, a lot of stuff happened. We didn't know what was happening. At first, people were thinking like, oh yeah, those are the people who are butthurt, or those are the people who are like, You know how the controversy happened with Genshin Impact about he being so inappropriate, and people will be like, oh, you're sexualizing young girls and stuff like that, even though it's anime. Like, what the heck? Like, everybody in their healthy mind, I believe, they are able to distinguish between having an actual person and just an anime character that doesn't exist in real life, that has nothing to do with real life, and it's all a fantasy and fantasy and fantasy. But I guess not. However, I was surprised to see that no, not at all. It came in from the Chinese player base, and apparently Chinese. So all of those referred, I'll be referring them from Reddit, because I mean, welcome to Honkai Impact. Everything comes from Reddit, all the information. But I'll definitely be linking all of the pictures that I have right now. I'll be linking them down below, so you can just click on them and look at them. So one of the things that caught my eyes was, good question, because first, it is a Chinese company. We raised them. We are at their side during their hardest times, but when they were rich, they just treat the Chinese player at least equal. We made their success, so we have rights to take them down. First of all, no, you didn't. Just because mihoyo happened to be in China doesn't mean that you actually did it. Remember something very important. mihoyo didn't do it because it's a content farm. It's not. It has only 3 to 4 games: Genshin Impact, Honkai Impact 3rd, Guns N' Girls, and I believe they have a dating stimulation game, I believe, and that's about it. They don't have anything else. They have those 4 big games, and that's that. They are not looking for content farm. If they were looking actually for money, they would have been putting ads all over it. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be just because you raised them or you helped them or you topped off. Like, believe me, a lot of other games are doing just as fine putting ads up there, and they're doing just fine. mihoyo had the fortune and was lucky enough to be in a Chinese community to top it off. But that doesn't mean that you raised them or you actually made them rich. And then another thing, least equal. Should we talk about how KFC, other stuff, other companies, they all have a promotional materials for it, and they all have special stigmas, special everything, special events on the Chinese server, but not on the global server. Nobody mentions the SEA server, but we love you guys over there. But that actually happened. Like, if you want to speak about equality, you have to speak about it in all sides, not just because of your side. More importantly, it's just one event. When people were celebrating the 4 years or like the 5 years of the Chinese server, everybody congratulate you guys. It's not something it's not something against each other. Don't forget that we are all playing the same game. We are all experiencing the same material. So, if you want to have something special, mihoyo has the right to give other players something special in return. And just based on that, we can see that they are obviously biased to the Chinese server by giving them 10 supplies cards, which are like, I think, 2,800 or 2,500 worth of crystals. No, I think 2,800 worth of crystals just for you guys, even though it wasn't even your stuff. Like, it wasn't even your celebration. So that's a big thing. It's just a global event. It's just a server, and they just wanted to celebrate their achievement in opening a new server. That's about it. They weren't giving like, oh, we care so much about foreigners, as they mentioned it, and they're just celebrating. They are just having fun. So that was that. Then the more layers you peel off, it's like an onion. It's like a very, very stinky onion. So this person, Miwi Bing, has posted something very, very interesting that nobody talks about at all, actually. From the very start, so listen up to this one apparently. From the very start, their principal intention was to bring mihoyo down. So apparently there was antis. I'm gonna try my best to summarize what the hell is going on. So apparently there is Chinese antis who really want Genshin to go down. They started that by putting Genshin and Honkai players against each other. And they kind of worked at the beginning, but then people just like forgot about it and were like, hey, remember that we are from the same developing company. Those people are literally the same and they are working their best to give us a good time. Let's not make it about that. So that happened. However, since some of those have already started by Gade, global social media platforms, check post comments are by the same person. I feel it's important to make this PSA. Okay. This is where things get really, really nasty and political, apparently. On February 6th, 2020, a Taiwanese cosplayer that has some affiliation with mihoyo shared her cosplay on Twitter. She mentioned that she had planned to exhibit it during Taipei Game Show, which was unfortunately delayed by Wuhan pneumonia, a term that is now deemed as racist and insulting by China. Okay, I totally understand. Okay, it was called the Wuhan pneumonia. Apparently now it's racist. Cool. Nobody's gonna talk about it. But remember that before it was redeemed racist, it was a word at the beginning. Like everybody used it. However, back then, the coronavirus pandemic has just started. There wasn't a unified term about the virus, especially for common people across the world. In fact, at the early stage of the pandemic, even Chinese state media called it Wuhan pneumonia. So we know the Chinese government, the media, called it the Wuhan pneumonia. It wasn't something that they came up with, that cosplayer came up with. They came up with it being the Wuhan pneumonia. So that's that. So, as you could expect, it's like Western online cancel culture. So we are dealing with a cancel culture. And from what I understood so far is we apparently have a cancel culture and a jealousy culture, and they both happen to agree that let's make it hell to mihoyo, turn it political. And even if the jealous people didn't want to turn it political, the antis really made sure they turn it political. And they are talking now about how the cosplayer who insulted China while intentionally omitting all the context, similar with the Hololive Taiwan controversy. So apparently there was that. So we know for sure that what's happening are... Look at that. That being said, I would also like to remind people that not all Chinese players are antis. That is very true. You always have people who are sane and who are like, hey, we are here just to enjoy the game, just because they had one stigma that, believe me, not a lot of people are gonna use. Like, absolutely trust me. When you have farmable stigma, when you have other good stigma, you have the gotcha stigma, you have so much more options, you're not gonna use it. It's not gonna be as useful. However, while there are a small group of Chinese players who have been bravely fighting against the misinformation, also many Chinese players that look like antis might actually be just ill-informed people that were inflamed with lies. If possible, when engaging with this kind of players, our priority would be to clear things up and make them realize they have been deceived by malicious people. That is absolutely true. So, my big point here is, what are we going to do with this whole shenanigans that's happening? Of course, we have to speak out, because first of all, it's our right. Second of all, we're doing this for us and for them and for mihoyo. Remember that What we are fighting for is we are fighting for a good game. We are not fighting against the company. The company was cornered. I'm not trying to protect mihoyo. What mihoyo tried to do is they had a good intention. They made a very, very bad execution. And I agree, we should definitely speak it out and tell them, like, just go to support and then in-game surveys, like, you know, the human way, the mentally stable, the mature way. We should talk about it, because remember that those people that on the other side are working their butt off just to make us happy and just to present. They're not a farm content. I say it again. You know that there's those games, you see them all the time. They say that they are free and they put so many clickbaity advertisement, they put so many ads, and they make so much money out of that. And you know, at the end of the day, they really don't care. They just want to pump out ads. They want to pump out content. They want to pump out anything that would give them money. But obviously, mihoyo didn't do that. They didn't do that because they had a sincere heart and they wanted to work their heart off into this game. And most importantly, remember that all of those servers are under the same umbrella. We're all here to enjoy a very beautiful game. Whether some people are fortunate enough to top off and support the developers more than others, that's up to the players at the end. mihoyo put it for free for a reason. It put it for free to give an equal opportunity for everybody. So we can't just go around saying we topped off like the Chinese community. Like, I get that you guys are salty, but at the same time, it's not your right to just say we topped off more, or we helped more, or we helped make you rich. No, you did not. No, you did not. mihoyo could have easily put ads in there. They would be like, okay, you want to make a free poll? How about that? You watch an ad. They would be putting ads here and there, like any other game. But they didn't, because they were fortunate enough to have a fortunate base, player base, that they actually put money into this. I personally put a lot of money into it. The most I put in one sitting is $200, literally to get the Herrscher of Thunder, and I was so happy about it. Like, I didn't even look at the money. I was so happy. Remember, at the end of the day, this game is gonna finish, is gonna have an ending. But what we are doing here is we are supporting those people who are making this game to have a good ending for the game and to enjoy the ride. So, on the other side, you have those insane people. The Shanghai branch thwarted a case of premeditated murder stemming from personal extremism. Around April 5th, 12, through timely development of personnel on the base on background investigation, the Shiwu police, sorry for butchering, branch arrested Mr. Gu in the mihoyo corporate campus. 2 controlled knife weapons, curveball, blade length 9 cm sharpened, was seized on the spot. Through interrogation, the suspect revealed that he was unsatisfied with mihoyo PR actions overseas, so he temporarily stayed at the Fushan prefecture investigating and obtaining company foundation, Mr. Wu and Mr. Kai's identity and name card. Then he purchased the 2 knives and planned to wait for a chance to murder the 2 company founders, which then he would proceed to commit suicide by jumping. At the moment, Mr. Gu has been detained. So, insanity is everywhere, right? And we have unfortunate people who really just want to kill people and then kill themselves. Sadly, it's a very harsh thing, but obviously it's here. So that's that. Oh, goodness. And then we have, I come from China, sorry for the poor English, I just want to say that mihoyo is innocent. That's one of the people who commented. and then they post screenshots of why don't mihoyo shut down the Chinese servers. They don't deserve to have such a good game, which is obviously wrong. Everybody deserves to have a good game. Everybody deserves to have good rights, good living, good everything. It's just that some people are spoiled more than the others, and those people sometimes are louder than the people who enjoy it. And then we have this part, which so some people went on different retaliation methods. A lot of people think that what mihoyo did is something that is personal, like something that, oh, we just want to satisfy our older sibling, our older son, the Chinese server. And a lot of people think like, oh, they gave them the 10 supply card, we got only the 500 and stuff like that. So they went on to give 1 star and talk about it. Here's why I think this is okay. I don't usually like going after the company itself, because remember that the people who work in the company are working their ass off just to be able to give this content. But before, it worked. When 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross came out, and they put in a couple of very big banners, and we're talking about 900 pulls where you can get free gems, like you can get 3 free gems a day. We're talking about that. And then those pulls are 900 gem pulls. And they put a couple of banners behind each other, and the banners that came out are very OP banners. Those broke the meta. So people weren't even able to save up. So the F2P player base wasn't even getting anything out of it. They went on this method. They went on boycotting and leaving 1 star review. And I think that's a very smart way to do it, because first of all, you're not threatening anything and anybody. Second of all, you're not going manic and attacking other players. Third of all, you're getting right into the beast cave, and you're leaving very big hits, impactful hits. So I personally think I would recommend, if you really want to get your voice out, to leave the 1 star review. And here's the thing, do not spit hate, do not leave hateful comment. Just make sure you say why did you leave the 1 star review. Like this person, Global got screwed yet again. You take our event and the video, only give us 500 gems, and you suck the tit of the CN play base while giving them 10 free premium pulls. That is true. I will not longer be spending money on your game after the treatment you people continue to give the Global. I love it. I feel like it's right to the point. So I definitely recommend just going through that, showing why we don't like it. I'm personally gonna do that as well. So that's one way to actually be impactful and not go against each other. Because remember, if somebody is lowering themselves to a place where they are playing in shit, you don't want to lower yourself to a place where you are playing in shit just to keep up with them. So make sure you remember, like, you keep that in your mind. Finally, we have those insane people on the other side. So we saw the insane people on the Chinese side, now we have the insane people on the global side. And oh, look at this piece of crap right here. I'm looking for a picture of Fuhua. Any clue? What's wrong with this person? Like, seriously, like, what's wrong? I feel like I'm embarrassed myself just for having those people on our side of the fight. Like, dude, just go back to your basement, to your mom's basement, and just stay there. Just stay there. Finally, I'm gonna leave you with this little bunny and the big announcement that I'm gonna talk about, which is I decided as a retaliation and as a pride for the global community and for all of the Honkai players, we are now called the Bunnies. So my fan base is now called the Bunnies. I know I'm being too cocky and saying I have a fan base, but to everybody who enjoys my content, thank you so much for sticking around, and be prepared because we are now the bunnies. Just like that, we show our pride in being cute and being fluffy and being nice and being a joy to everybody around us. And I would just say make sure to just enjoy the game, not just go around. It's nice to be in a community, but at the same time, if the community is too toxic, you can just enjoy the game for what it is. You don't have to be in a community. The main reason why I started the channel, if you go to my channel, you can see that I joined in 2012, which is correct. This is my first ever account, but I started posting video very recently, and the main reason is I loved Honkai Impact so much that I didn't want it to like show you guys. I wanted just to play with you. It's very weird. It's like going and talking with somebody is like, hey, come and take a look at this. It's like, isn't it cool? And instead of just having people around me is like, yeah, it's cool, stuff like that, and brushing me away, I could just at least play and have other people who will like enjoy it as much as I do, and we can all talk about it. So whether you are SEA server, global server, CN server, any server you are, any game you are, as long as you guys are enjoying the content that I'm doing, I'm really happy and I'm really glad. And for people who have anything against us being called the bunnies from now on, make sure you put your comment down there so I can know who you are and I can remove the comment, because we have a pride in who we are. And that's about it. Thank you all for listening and sticking around, and I'll see you in another video.